We would steal the golf carts. That was the craziest thing I probably did. What was it like to audition for A Week Away? I remember walking into the audition room. I loved the script. I fell in love with it. But I remember I was really nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. I had to sing in the room. I had just written a song that I was recording. I was like, I just wrote this, but it made me think of Will and his journey and the story. And then I left, and I was convinced I didn't book it.
Well, you did book it.
Kevin, what about you?
My audition experience was an interesting one. I originally had an audition for the role of Sean, which a lot of people don't know. Did you know that, Bailey?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I do that thing where I read a script and then I keep going towards a certain character's lines. And then I was like, all right, well, obviously I can't play Sean. So I ended up going out for Will, did the audition, and I booked Will.
How were you when you found out? Were you like so relieved that it was the role that you had been gravitating towards?
For sure, I was relieved.
I had met Kevin before. I was thrilled to hear that you got it.
We met like in 2016. I just remember being super excited to work with you, you know?
Ditto.
I was really excited for us to become better friends.
Kevin, what was it like getting to know the rest of the cast?
Getting to know the rest of the cast was really exciting for me. We were really lucky, I think, that when the five of us came together, it felt like we knew each other.
I just remember sitting there at the table read and watching everyone do their stuff, and my mind was just like, oh man, like we're gonna have a little family here. How cool is that? So it was really special.
Hi, sweetie, how was school?
I think my favorite story from set was when we got to ride around in the golf carts all the time. Because we were shooting on this camp, we were in these golf carts and transport would take us throughout the camp.
We would steal the golf carts. I remember there was a few times I just hopped in. That was the craziest thing I probably did. We'd so go into the lunchrooms and like,
Yeah.
We looked forward to lunch because of the golf carts. We loved it.
This is the first time we're really going for it. I don't know what's gonna happen.
The dance rehearsals were honestly the most exciting part of the whole experience. We worked our booty off and we support each other. The tricky part was taking the dancing and then once we got the songs cut and finished, putting the lip singing to the dance moves. It sounds really simple, but
It's hard.
that was the next kind of step to go into, but oh, it was so much fun.
If you're having trouble believing, I made you just how you should be. Good enough, more than good enough.
We came a long way.
We did. The opportunity to dance was a huge bonus for this project. Not gonna lie, some of the choreography was a little bit difficult.
Hey, I wasn't that heavy to pick up.
I feel like with Best Thing Ever or Dive,
The dive choreography actually was thrown on us towards the end of dance rehearsals. I think strictly because a lot of it was just making shapes in the water. And I actually don't think that we learned the dive choreography until, I think we maybe had 2 days on it. And then we had one practice beach day and we got to go in the lake and in the water and like splash around and record it. And that was really fun to feel it in the actual space, not just like a dance studio.
you're right, you do kind of feel it in the space when you're shooting it, and that's the first time you do it. It's one of my favorite moments of the film.
Kevin, what was it like to film the duet with me?
Place in This World, I think that was the first day of filming, was those scenes by
It
the
was
lake.
the first day.
You remember we were doing a scene, Bailey, where we had to turn around for Place in This World and spin around?
Oh, I loved that shot.
It turned out really great.
I was living out my teenage fantasy with how he shot that.
And it's so funny how it comes together, because all I could think of while we were doing that was like moving around like, this is so weird. Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm like, you're in the Mine music video. You're Taylor Swift.
You owned it, you owned it.
It was so much fun, but the dock scene, I mean, talk about a time crunch. 2-3 take tops, and then we were trying to get the coverage when you spin and turn me, and it was
Yeah.
like the sun was going down.
It was magic hour.
I was so worried about the lift and like not having my toes like pointed enough, but we committed. We were a good team for it.
Yeah, totally. We were a great team.
I finally know I'm more than good enough. Baby, baby, there was never a time without it.
I remember the last musical number of the movie. It was literally the sun was going down and we had, I think 3 takes tops to do our final dance number, and it was the biggest one. And there was so much adrenaline, and they said action, and like all of us picked our heads up like in unison, like, okay, it's showtime, and like got the dance number in.
That was really difficult, and we only had like 1 or 2 shots to get it, but we got it.
But we did it!
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our stories from set.
Be sure to check out our new film, A Week Away, on Netflix.